So unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard about all of the Note 7's batteries exploding, or you could just be one of those people that is just in denial about the whole thing, who doesn't want to return their phones. But anyway, I don't actually think it's Samsung's fault that the batteries were exploding and stuff, and this is why. So the thing is, Samsung issued a statement saying basically why the batteries were exploding, and it's because the anode side of the battery was basically coming into contact with the cathode side, I think. I might have the words wrong, but anyway. So basically, normally in batteries, there's usually a separation between both of them. There's usually a material in the middle that separates both of them. And I'm not a battery expert by any stretch of the imagination, but basically there's an alternate route that that basically the electrodes go over to get from one side of the battery to the other. And I hope I'm saying it right by saying electrodes. But anyway, without getting into the technicalities of it all, basically it's up for the people that manufacture the batteries to get all of that sorted and to get a battery that's going to work properly, that they're going to supply to Samsung. So apparently Samsung get their batteries from a whole load of manufacturers, which is why not all of the phones were affected. But there was one or two, it was probably just one manufacturer in particular that offered these batteries that were not really working properly and were having both the sides come into contact with each other, which basically makes it explode, which is why the phones were exploding. So basically, Samsung get the battery, they put it in the phone, and then they give it to consumers. They don't really have a need to check them because that's up to the company to do it. So really, it's the manufacturer's fault for all of this. But then there's another party whose fault it is too, and that's the consumers. So not taking into account the 35 people who had it at first, because obviously that was before the recall happened. But once the recall happened, there's still been people who have had their phones explode on them. And the thing is, even though it's a really small minority, at I think it was 0.1% of phones, if Samsung's saying the truth about that. Basically, it could still happen to any Note 7 owner that has this particular type of battery. And even though it might not have happened yet, it could just take you overusing the phone, or I don't know, maybe shaking it too much or something for it to happen. So it's probably best that if you're a Note 7 owner, that you just give your phone back and you abide with the recall, because it might not have happened yet, but it might happen soon that the battery does explode. Because there's no way to really tell which battery is going to be affected by this. So there's no way that you can even check or anything. And the thing is, you can't take the battery out of the phone either. So the thing is, yeah, it is kind of the fault of the consumers too. Because, for example, the battery that exploded on the 6-year-olds this morning or yesterday night or something, that should have been avoided, because Samsung did tell owners of the Note 7 to switch their phones off and to just bring them to the recall. But obviously, unless this person didn't hear, which I don't know how on earth they couldn't have done, they must be just not on social or anything. They should have basically given it back to Samsung. So yeah, I am kind of going to defend Samsung on this point, because I think they've actually done a really good job with their recall. I mean, yes, they didn't go the official route at the beginning, but as soon as they heard that these batteries were exploding, they asked for them to be recalled straight away. And this is losing them about, I think I saw $1 billion, basically, by replacing all these phones. That's how much it's going to cost them. So this is a massive cost to them. They could have just been in denial about the whole thing. But they are basically recalling all the phones. They're doing an official global recall. Well, yeah, at first it wasn't official, but they're going to be making it official in the next coming days. But basically, they were doing a recall. They were asking all the carriers to recall the phones, and the carriers are doing so. So again, if you're a Note 7 owner and the battery explodes on you, at this point it's only your fault, because Samsung have basically done a global recall. So wherever you are in the world, if you've got a Note 7, then you should return it, because they are telling you to switch it off and to basically give it back to them. And it's even gotten to the point where airlines are having to tell people to do it. Just give back your phone. And you're going to get a new one anyway. It's not as if they're saying that you're going to give it back to them and you're going to lose your money or anything. But anyway, that's my take on the whole thing. I don't really think Samsung's at fault with this, from either the point of supplying the phones with the batteries or doing the whole recall thing, because they are doing a good job with it. And they are getting the government body involved with this too. So it's going to be illegal soon to sell the Note 7 in the US anyway. But anyway, yeah, that's my whole take on this. So that's why I don't think it's Samsung's fault at all that the whole battery exploding thing's still happening. But Yeah, I want to know your thoughts too. What are your thoughts? I want to hear them down in the comments down below, and I want to hear if you agree with me or you think that it is still in part Samsung's fault. I want to hear all that down in the comments down below. So I'll see you on the next video. Bye.